Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Tia Mowry, My Next Act, Season 1, Episode 3.
Listen here, somebody sound a little congested, but it's all good. We all here. Okay? Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, you ready
They
to walk us
might
through?
not have noticed.
Okay, no. Trust me, they notice, okay? Because I hear it. I'm like, oh, man. You ready to walk us through this?
Yes.
Let's go.
So the last guy comes in to be interviewed by Tia's friends and assistant. His name is Charles.
Hey, Charles.
We learned that he is a school counselor, he referees, and he also runs a nonprofit. So overall, he's doing pretty well answering the questions. He's not getting defensive. He's just kind of like, okay, throw them at me. I'll see, the best I can do. We find out he is 37 years old with I think he said like a 7 or 8 year old daughter.
Yeah, he got one child.
Yeah. He talks about how he would be open to being a stepdad. He loves kids. Kids love him. And Charles passed the evaluation.
The thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I don't know if it's like rubbed me the wrong way, when they say, can you date or would you date somebody with kids? You're like, ooh, that's different. I'm like, bro, you got a kid. So you have to be open to date somebody with kids because you have a kid. Especially when you're 37.
Well,
okay, like you don't got slim pickings to where you could just pick a 21-year-old who have no kids, who's young, and all things of that nature. What did you think about this scene?
I thought Charles had a good attitude, and I thought the girls were open and receptive to him. So it seemed like a good scene. Yeah.
Is Charles black?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
So next we have Natasha and Ciara. They go to Tia's house and they tell her they found a date for her. So they set up the date for the next week. Tia thinks it's weird just thinking of someone else after you've been in a relationship for over 20 years. She's nervous that things are becoming more real because she's going on a date and there might be potential there.
So what are your thoughts on that? About her? It's like, oh, this is weird after 20 years of being with somebody and things of that nature.
I'm going to save my thoughts about Tia's thoughts about dating until after the date, because I do have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, yeah. That's a tease. That means y'all have to stay around for the whole time. Let's go.
So Tia likes that Ciara and her care about each other's mental health. They also have this work relationship. So Cairo is turning 6 and she wants a princess themed party. Tia wants to feel that she could do it alone, so she wants to take on majority of the planning process. Yeah. She says that she's used to doing this while she was married, so she is going to continue to do this.
Okay.
Tia says that there's also some sadness that she's doing this on her own because one person isn't there. It doesn't make the experience any less than, but she's going to put on a great party for Cairo so she doesn't feel the change in the dynamic.
Okay.
So apparently it's the first party that Tia is planning without Corey. Usually the whole family also is a part of this.
And this is what I wanted to know, because we're just going to fast forward and rewind. If this is not the first year y'all been divorced, so
y'all been divorced for 2 years.
Yeah, so when it comes to the whole family, okay, let's say you and Corey plan the birthday. Let's say, okay, now you're planning the birthday. We seen the party. Where's the family?
Yeah.
Where, you're the in-laws and your sister, or maybe not your sister, but just more people. You get what I'm saying?
You have other siblings, your parents, your mom and dad. So
it just comes off as putting on a facade for TV, because now you're like, oh my goodness, I have to plan my kid's birthday, but this is not the first birthday that y'all been divorced. Yeah. So that's why I was like, Tia, you're starting to look a little funny in the light. Just a little bit.
To me, I was thinking, is this what people mean when people are being Hollywood? Just being fake and just not sincere, and it just, things aren't adding up, because it just didn't make much sense to me. No. You guys have been divorced for 2 years. This is your first year not planning a party with Corey. Why can't Corey come to the birthday party? It's his daughter, right? If y'all are on decent terms.
He can't come. This is my next act.
Okay.
So he can't come, Blair.
So I was just like, and maybe I'm a little bit, a lot of y'all people don't like the Kardashians, but maybe I'm a little bit spoiled by the Kardashians, but they be having everybody at their birthday parties.
Yeah, I don't like that though.
All the aunties, the uncles, the exes, the everybody at the party. So I was just like, I don't see why Corey can't be at this party, but whatever.
Yeah, let's not reference the Kardashians no more either, because they ain't watch it. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, there's a way to do blended families. Yeah. I mean, or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not blended. That's his daughter.
Okay. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
So Tia has a Zoom meeting with a princess company. Yeah. So she's got everything pretty much done. So she tells Cairo that she got her dress and a cake. Now Cairo says she wants to have a llama party with a slide. So Tia's freaking out. She's talking about how she doesn't have any RSVPs for the party. Ciara tells her it's only been 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now Tia doesn't know where to start when it comes to finding Llama. She's going to change the whole theme of the party.
Start right here.
Yes.
What is Ciara's job?
Assistant, but it doesn't seem like Tia's letting her do much assisting.
No, she's letting her do a lot of assisting in areas that I'm like, hey, that should be your personal preference or like your personal problem. Like when it comes to your personal life.
Right. But
anything that have to do with like me paying you money to assist me, like I don't get this whole thing of I'm going to do it myself. Then why are you having an assistant? You get what I'm saying? Especially with something as a party and things like that, getting llamas, making sure things are in order. Instead, you got her doing side missions with Natasha, I think her name was, of picking men. You get what I'm saying? But now you over here stressed over a 5-6-year-old birthday party where you pay money not to be stressed. That's the whole point of you having an assistant. So you could be like, man, where I'm gonna find llamas? Oh, Blair, llamas. like that's the whole point of having an assistant.
Yeah.
It's just a whole weird relationship. It's not even a work relationship. It's just a weird relationship altogether.
Yeah. For me, I'm not changing the party to no llama party.
Wow.
I'm not even asking the girl what she will after I already, said we're having the princess party. But I asked her the first time what we're going to have. She said princess party. We're not talking about it again until the day of the party. Be like, all right, I got you dressed. Let's go ahead and go outside for your party.
Our daughter want a princess party, Blair.
So she's getting the princess party.
But she want llamas now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, that conversation would not have even come up with me.
I don't think you're sorry.
So I was just like, Tia, she's 5.
Oh, okay.
About to be 6.
Mm-hmm.
She could literally change her mind every second of the day.
That is
true. Let's not change the whole idea for the party.
That is true.
So Tia gets a call from her cousin. Oh, and also one more thing. Your daughter's going to feel the change of the dynamic. Her daddy's not at the house. She's going to her dad's house every so often.
Mm-hmm.
So for Tia to want to put on this big celebration so that way her daughter doesn't feel the impact of the divorce, I'm just like, I could understand a small portion of just like, I don't want her to feel like we skipped a beat when it came to celebrating her or dropping the ball in those type of ways. But yeah, the dynamic has shifted. She's going to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so Tia gets a call from her cousin best friend, Jerome. She tells him that she is feeling overwhelmed. She fills him in on the party drama, and he tells her he is going to be there to help Tia, and it'll be his first time meeting Cairo as well.
Start right here. Read that first line again. Tia meets who calls her?
Her cousin best friend, Jerome.
This is the cousin / best friend, Jerome, and this will be the first time that he is meeting my daughter?
Yeah. 6 years. 6 years.
How is that even like possible?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like if this is the cousin, but like okay. Is this one of the situations? Let me play scenario here. Is this one of the situations where, like Corey's not around, so now I get to come around? Like, if this is your cousin best friend, like I would think this would like now I understand cousins. We all have cousins. I have cousins that don't live in the same state as me, but this is my cousin best friend.
Yeah.
You put a little 20. You put a little 20 on 10 when you said best friend. So I would think that you would have met my child within 5 to 6 years. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I would think too.
But
so stuff like this makes me think like, okay, I'm sure it can be explained away, but at the same time, I'm just like, this is not adding up. The party's not adding up. The cousin best friend not seeing the child is not adding up. I'm just like, okay, is this like a whole fake storyline for the show? Like it's just
starting to look a little funny in the light.
It's just looking funny in the light.
Just a little funny
I
in the
got questions. That's all.
Let's keep going.
So Tia says that planning the party is reminding her of what was. She wants to keep the traditions going. It's just a new family dynamic.
Mind you. Okay, how was the party last year?
Right. Who planned it?
Yeah. Because I'm like, you've been divorced for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Or even the year where you was about to get a divorce and things like that. Who planned that party?
Yeah.
Like it just seems like now is hard. And why is it hard when you have an assistant? Like that's what I'm confused about. But let's keep going.
So Natasha and Tia do yoga.
Yeah.
And Tia says that it was very therapeutic for her. She is just feeling overwhelmed. It's the first birthday party for Cairo since the divorce, and she is breaking down crying. She says, you have to move on with life while you're still figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And she says that right now she's really needing family.
Okay.
She talks about how Jerome is her protector. And oh my gosh, so many thoughts. Number one, okay, Tia is like very like she's a crier. Okay. We accept this now.
Okay.
We know it, we see it, we accept it.
She's a crier.
She's a crier. But for her saying this is the first birthday party for Cairo since the divorce, I'm just like, you've been talking about wanting to keep traditions alive. So was there a ball that was dropped within the past 2 years about traditions not being kept alive? It's just so many like empty plot holes that it's just like, tell the full story, Tia. Like, I don't get it.
This is my next act.
So then she talks about how she needs family. It seems like the only family member she invited was Jerome. So
what about your sister?
What about your brothers? Like, what about her dad? She's close to her dad. So I was just like, I don't get that either.
Okay.
But then she's talking about how Jerome is her protector. I believe in the earlier episode she talked about how Natasha is her protector. Are you in danger, Tia?
She might be.
What's up with all these protectors? What is up with that?
I don't even know what.
Because you don't have your husband. Was your husband your protector? Now you're finding all these other people to place as a protector. Like, I don't understand why you need all these protectors in your life. Like, I'm very confused about that.
What? Like, I mean, a husband's supposed to naturally be a protector, at least from physical harm, at least. I don't know what she means by, like, you're my protector. It's almost like, have you ever met an old person and it's like, hey, like, that person don't know how to compliment?
Okay.
Because they old and things like that. Tia comes off that way as someone who gives empty compliments, as someone that don't know how to compliment. Like, oh, you are such my protector, because anybody who cares about her, she's gonna call you her protector.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we just did yoga. Like, I don't need to be all of that. Jerome is your protector. Well, he haven't been around for 6 years. Natasha's your protector, I guess, because she picked your date or whatever. I just don't know what Tia means, because like, it's all empty. Yeah. It doesn't have any grounding. It doesn't have any like roots to it. So if you care about Tia, she's going to call you her protector and things like that.
Yeah. So Jerome arrives. Yeah. He meets Cairo for the first time.
Okay.
They talk a little bit about how the last time they saw each other was like last August when he lost his mom. And he talks about his healing journey and that he's on medication for anxiety.
Yeah.
And Tia talks about how she's been dealing with anxiety, and then she starts asking him for a little bit of his medication. Like, let me get half a pill. Let me get something like that.
This is weird behavior.
And Jerome was looking at her like, are you okay? And Jerome says, look, you've been doing hard things your whole life. Things just look different now. You still have people beside you. You've got me. You've got what's her name, Ciara or whatever.
Yeah, her name is Ciara.
Yeah, so like you've got people in your corner. Yeah. My thing though with Tia is like, does Tia have an aversion to going to doctors? Like, why, if she feels like she needs anxiety medication, why does she not go see somebody? But she's going around crying and talking to everybody who will listen. And I'll give you this. She's talking to her friends, but when we get to the jeweler, it's like she's trying to have another therapy session with the jeweler, and the jeweler is like, let me pack up these bags. Because this is not what I'm here for.
Well, put it like this. She did say this is therapeutic for me. Every time she does something, yoga, the jewelry store and things of that nature, just talking, she said it's therapeutic for me. What's therapeutic for you is therapy. Yeah. Like you need to go to therapy. I'm going to give her a little bell. Maybe she was just trying to be funny with the let me hold your pills and things like that. Maybe. Because there is really no right way to ask somebody for their medication. There's really no right way. I think it's only a joke until he says, oh, here. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, you haven't seen Jerome in person for 6 years. Why do you trust the medication that he has? You don't know his medical history and things like that. He literally just told you straight up, like, yeah, I'm battling some anxiety, so the doctor gave me some pills and things like that. But like, it could be for other things too. You get what I'm saying? If then for you to just be, oh, let me hold one of your pills, and then Jerome's like, no, girl, But if he would have said, okay, yeah, well, you would have took it.
I think so. Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Tia? Let's keep going.
So Tia, Ciara, and Jerome, they all are at the farm.
Yes.
Tia gets on Ciara's back to get down the hills because she's not wearing any appropriate shoes or whatever. whatever.
Okay.
So I guess that's the type of assisting that Ciara does.
I don't understand why she ain't wearing appropriate shoes when she's on the farm.
Yeah. So they're actually seeing alpacas. These are not llamas. Jerome was the one who found the location, and they talked to the guy, and he says that these are not for rent. They're not for sale. And they do have some resources to find them some llamas that they can rent for the party.
Hey, Jerome, why? Listen here. If I was Jerome, I'd be mad because I'm like, Tia, you a bad house guest. Why you got me working when you got an assistant?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not even saying the assistant got to assist me, but why are you mad at me or going to trust me to find llamas when I just got here 24 hours ago?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
I don't live here. I don't know where the llamas at around here. Yeah.
I did the same thing you could have did. Llamas near me.
Yeah.
And just went to Google. You get what I'm saying?
So Tia, when they get back to the house, Tia assigns duties, and they are also going to get one llama for the party.
Yeah, they over there talking about, Tia's in the kitchen, and she's basically like, okay, so we got to assign roles. We got to do, okay. Ciara said, okay, I got cake. And then that's when she goes look at Jerome and said, bounce house, moon house, or like moon bounce, whatever it is. I think it's called bouncy house. Yeah. Right. And she was like, matter of fact, I don't know if I can trust you with the bouncy house and things like that. And she's over here like, well, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, Tia, Ciara is the assistant. You go to Ciara and you say, okay. She says, I got cake. And you said, no, you have cake, you have llamas, you have bouncy house, you make sure the invitations are out and people, like, that's what I pay you for. I don't pay you to be a sister. Yeah. I have a sister. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I pay you to be an assistant. So this whole Tia thing, not using her assistant, but using her assistant for other things is weird. It's very weird. I don't understand how, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's a girl's thing because guys don't do this. Like, you know how they always in like Tia's room and things like that, and like sitting on her bed and just basically like in her space. Guys, we don't go in each other's room and just be sitting on like their bed and stuff like that. But you know, once they're divorced, it's no longer like a marriage bed. It's just Tia's bed, right? Yeah. So my thing is, if Ciara could be so cool to lay on your bed, but can't assist with the party, like, I don't understand the relationship that y'all have. But that's just me.
So Tia goes to the jeweler to pick up the bracelet and dog tag. Yeah. The jeweler also made a little necklace for her with a diamond in the center. Nice. So she talks about how the marriage wasn't all bad and she didn't want to throw away her ring. It just means a lot to her to give these gifts to her children.
Yeah, as Blair said, she was crying.
Yeah, she was crying, and you know, she was like really expressing herself to the jeweler and everything like that. And I don't know, like, I feel like, and maybe this is like a whole different conversation, but I think on the internet, people champion vulnerability so much that there's a time and a place. And I think that gets lost a lot of the time. And I think with Tia, the way that she talks and the way that she expresses healing and all this type of stuff, it sounds very like social media based. And I'm just like, yes, vulnerability and all that stuff is important, but girl, you do not need to tell the jeweler all your problems. Like, you could definitely carve out some time to see a therapist to get all these emotions out, so that way you could go about your normal day without breaking down every time you're talking to somebody, especially a couple of years after the divorce. And don't get me wrong, I'm not putting a timeline on her grief. She can feel however she wants to feel. But at the same time, like, this is a sensitive issue, and not everybody is going to be receptive and understanding of how you feel and what you're going through. So in a way, it's a way of protecting yourself in your heart, but not laying your soul bare to anybody that will walk by. Right. And I feel like that is a way that Tia could protect herself, is by basically knowing, you know, who to trust, who to share all that information to. And I also feel like the assistant is not the person to be getting for Tia to bare her soul to. Like, I don't think they should be crossing those lines, but hey.
But you don't understand, Blair.
Yeah.
This is my next act. Yeah. And this is what is part of my next act. Yeah. I'm Tia Mowry. My next act. Right. This is what the show consists of.
So it's party time. So everything has come together really nicely. It did look like a really fun party. It was decorated great. Like, they had like llama like things on the cake and stuff. So I was just like, oh, this is really cute. So then they also had the llama. So Tia thanks Jerome and Ciara for being there to support her, and she says that it has been hard for her to lean on people.
It wouldn't be hard to lean on somebody who I employ.
Right.
Hold on. Do you employ her? No.
I'm just saying that's a fair question.
No, like, does she get paid by you? Because maybe she don't. Maybe it's like you're really nobody, and to be on the show, I got to give you a title. So you're my assistant. But maybe like you actually have like a professional that do other things. Like if like I can't call you my sister because you're not my sister. But like I'm starting to question, is Ciara Tia's assistant? Because I've seen other assistants before, and there's a clear line of professional and personal. Professional, I'll handle this. Don't stress yourself about it. Personal, let's burn this wedding dress. All in the same vein. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm starting to question, do you even pay Ciara? Like I don't know, a lot of assistants will let you jump on their back. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
So later in the evening, Tia talks to Cairo. Cairo enjoyed her birthday party. She ends up giving her daughter the bracelet gift, and she's 6, so she was like, "I want to go to bed." Yes, but I think she'll come to appreciate it, and maybe Tia can kind of like re-gift it to her when she gets a little bit older.
Yeah, so don't lose them real diamonds.
Exactly. Don't have her have it up under the bed or nothing like that. So Tia's stylist is helping her pick out an outfit for the date. Yeah. And Ciara makes a comment about like all black, and the stylist is like, "Well, I know what Tia likes. This is pretty much like what Tia likes to wear." And Tia talks about how before like she was living in her masculine energy, but now like she's living her authentic life. And I was just like, is this because you like to wear black? Like that's as much as I could kind of pull from that conversation.
Well, I need you to dig deeper. What do you think she means by I was living my masculine energy?
Maybe she was the man of the house when she was married. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like, listen, a lot of people feel like that, like, since Corey is he is a working actor, but obviously we know more about Tia than we know about Corey. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? If you really pull up their roles that they've done throughout the years, if you take off Sister in the Game, they almost got identical resumes. You get what I'm saying? Tia just was able to hit 2 home runs. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to disrespect his career nor her career, but I'm just saying they almost identical without those 2 shows. So like just the whole idea that Tia got a stylist and things like that, and she says like she's used to her masculine energy, and I'm just like, I haven't seen a lot of masculine energy throughout these 3 episodes. I've seen a lot of crying, a lot of worrying, a lot of second guessing, a lot of leaning on other people. So it just came off as like, as Blair was talking about social media, as like you just have these cold words, these words that these keywords that you can find in any meme, in any tweet, in any Instagram post, any Facebook post, that I don't even know if you even believe that, but you're just trying to convey a message that you believe the masses will like basically understand. Right. But I don't know if it's you though. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
So Tia is making dinner for her daughter when Ciara calls her to remind her to start getting ready for her date. Yes. So Tia arrives to the date. He pulls her chair out.
He's spinning a little bit.
Yep. And she tells him that she's nervous. And she talks about when she's nervous, she laughs a lot. Yes. And I'm just like, a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like you look crazy a lot, like the Joker a lot.
My name is Tia. Ha ha ha. I'm just nervous. Don't worry about me. How are you? Ha ha. Sorry, I'm just nervous. You know what I'm saying? I understand.
So they learn a little bit about each other, where they're from. And she says that she has some PTSD when it comes to this dating thing. Being vulnerable and opening yourself up to someone new really scares her. They bond over having children, and she asks him what he's looking for in a partner. He talks about how he doesn't want the relationship to feel like a task. He wants to be inspired by someone and have someone that, to where they can support each other in a partnership. True. So Tia asks him why he's single. And he says, dream girls are rare. You're a dream girl. Like, she goes after she's super successful. That's something he admires about her.
Start right there. Boom, 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 boom. He's love bombing. Tia has not did anything or said anything to deserve that compliment right there. You get what I'm saying? So he's just trying to compliment his way out of the weirdness that's going on at this table and things like that. He's like, dream girls are rare. You're a dream girl. You're successful. You go after things you want. You get what I'm saying? You don't know this girl. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
She is proud that she was open enough to go on the blind date. And she kind of ends the date abruptly. And she was like, well, I gotta go. And he was like, well, I gotta go. And she was like, well, I gotta go. And he was like, well, I gotta go. And she was like, well, I gotta go. And he was like, well, I gotta go. And she was like, well, I gotta go. And he 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 was I got kids. I gotta go home. And she's like, sorry if it came off kind of blunt, but I gotta go. But they ended up. I think he gave her his number, but later on he says that he'll check in with her to make sure she got home safely. So maybe they did exchange numbers. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Okay, so my thoughts.
What is your thoughts? Now, give us what you teased us about.
Okay, Tia, you don't have to date because you think it's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of what we're hearing from Tia in her life is that she's done what she figures is the right thing or what she's supposed to do, like getting married, having kids, having the house, like all this type of stuff, waiting to date till she was 18. She was always a rule follower, which fine, that protects you, keeps you safe, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But in this new journey of her being single, I think she thinks that what she's supposed to do is go on dates and meet people and mingle and have her Sex in the City moment. And that honestly is what it feels like the whole show is about, is basically Tia getting her groove back or whatever. But my thing is, like, this doesn't feel to be authentically Tia. Tia, I really think, before I was like, she needs a matchmaker, Tia needs to wait to date until she's ready to get to know somebody. Because going on these dates, and I get people saying, get your feet wet, have a good time, all this type of stuff. Tia doesn't want to get to know anybody. She doesn't want to learn somebody new. She doesn't want to have conversations to really, connect with somebody authentically, and genuinely. So I think that Tia probably does, like I keep saying, like a broken record, needs to go to therapy and just kind of work through her issues before she pulls somebody else into the chaos that she's going through. And the dating, it doesn't seem like it's fun to her. It seems like it's a chore. So yeah, I think that she probably needs to wait on dating a little bit until she's just a little bit more level-headed, because she's not having a good time with it. And it seems like it's adding more stress than happiness. And if she's able to be at home and cook for her babies and chill out and whatever she wants to do and just find some peace with it herself, then that is totally okay. But I really think she's doing this dating thing because she thinks that's what she's supposed to be doing. But with her freedom and her saying that, like, she found happiness and like she has the option to choose, really choose what you want to do. And if dating is not where your heart is at right now, leave it alone.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm just gonna add a little. I'm just gonna add just a little bit.
Go ahead.
This is why it's so easy for us, and when I say us, people who reviewing the show, or maybe we are the only ones that's saying this, because I ain't really hear much people say this. This is why it's easy for us to just say maybe she missed Corey, because she say things like she's alone, she's lonely, and things like that, and we like, do she regret her divorce? Because everything else, I would think that if you got out of a marriage based off the reasons that you said, right? I'm not saying that you'd be happy to date, but it wouldn't seem so weird for you to date and things like that. You'd be like, you know what? I don't want to be alone and things like that. I know my value in a marriage, and this is not it. I'm not saying you need to go into the date dancing and basically being happy and being joy about it, but to Blair's point, it do look like you don't want to get to know nobody. And it does make us question, like, do you want Corey back, but not the Corey that you divorced? You get what I'm saying? Basically, like, if y'all was able, like, my whole thing is, I keep hearing you say my marriage wasn't all bad. It wasn't a bad day and things like that. It wasn't a bad marriage overall. So my thing is, there was nothing that y'all could have done to reconcile whatever problems y'all had. You have PTSD about dating, but you don't really have that much experience in dating.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, what do you mean you have PTSD in dating? You just never dated. That's basically what it is. And I hope this is not one of those situations to where someone sold you some magic beans of basically like, girl, you are in the prime of your life. You need to worry about yourself and things like that. Trust me, a lot of people will like you. I would like you. I would date you. You know, usually have your girlfriends that be so quick to say, I would date you. But guess what? You're not my type. You know what I mean? So, like, hopefully she wasn't sold these bag of beans, these magic beans by her young friends. That's also another thing I want to talk to. Tia, you're 40 plus. You don't need to be around late 20-year-olds and things like that, getting advice from them, early 30-year-olds. You need to talk to people older and the same age and things that you've been through and things like that, because they will always give their opinion and guess what you're going through, but only people who have the life experience can be like, girl, work that thing out with your husband.
Right.
Girl, work that thing out with your marriage, because guess what? The slims are picking out here.
Yeah.
There's piss in the pool, and not a lot of guys would want to date a woman who got a child, who is divorced. Well, not a child, multiple children, who is divorced. We're not as young, you get what I'm saying? And unfortunately, well, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for women, when it comes to being divorced, Corey will have more pickings than Tia would. And the thing about it is, and when I say pickings, I'm talking about good pickings. Because some people will show up to the date with Tia and be like, I was a big fan of sister. Yeah. Tia don't want that guy. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? She wants a guy that she can build with and things like that. And it's going to be very hard for her, in my opinion, especially with the characteristics Blair just named, of you don't really want to get to know them. Whole time you sent your friends to interview them before you even met them. So it's like, you're not really fully like invested in the process, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So hopefully Tia wasn't so this like, hey, leave your husband and go be with another guy, because guess what? There's a whole bunch of guys out here. From what I'm told, I don't know. I always believe there's good people out here. My wife tells me all the time there's piss in the pool.
Yeah, poop.
Yeah, and feces.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been told that the pickings are slim, especially someone who is willing to start over with you. The guy already felt some type of way about being a stepdad. He was like, that's kind of new. What do you expect? like, bro, you not young yourself. Uh-huh. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see you next week.
Bye.